Hey guys, Sunday, January 4th, out in the garage. It's a nice day for a change. We actually had some snow here earlier this week. Not a lot, maybe 4 inches or so. And then it got very, very cold. Single digits at night, daytime highs in the very low 20s. So that's kind of unusual for here, so kind of put a damper on a lot of stuff. But yesterday and today it was mid 40s, 50s again, so that's about right. So we're out here messing around. We've actually gotten some stuff done. We've been very productive. Let's take a look. The first thing that we've gotten done is we've gotten our A-pillars finished for the race car. Got both sides done. They came out pretty good. I still got to do a little bit more hammer and dolly forming on that one, but this one here is pretty much done. So that's what they're going to look like. We've just sheet metal. They're just decorative. I did roll this inside lip here to give it a little bit of support. So that's what those are. And we're starting to get our gauges set. Get that done. Actually had to go and get a new temperature gauge yesterday at Summit. Just so you know, these mechanical gauges, and I'm not sure what it is, but these little deals here are filled with something. It's it might be mercury, maybe. Does mercury expand when it gets hot? Anyways, and this tube here is actually just that. It's a tube, and so when they get damaged at all, it lets the liquid out and the gauge won't work. So that's what was going on with the gauge that was in there. So we've replaced that and got a new one. So basically, I got one more hole to drill here. We're going to have oil pressure. We're going to have oil temperature. We're going to have battery voltage, which is kind of critical because we don't run an alternator on this. We just go on a charged battery, and that's about it. Our water temperature will go here, and then right here we'll have fuel pressure. Our fuel pressure gauge will go there. Our tachometer is going to set right there, and I'm going to cut over there, and that's where our switch panel will go with our start button, ignition switch, fuel pump switch, and fan switch. So getting kind of close on this one here, get stuff taken care of, and then once we get all this done, we'll basically just be at the point of painting everything and taking a look at this brake, and we'll be set to go. So anyways, that's what we're going. Like I said, these bars, I think I showed the last time, they're all set. They just got to be welded in. Not really sure. I may. There's going to be a piece of sheet metal that comes up to about here. This here, I may put some screen on there. I may not. I don't know. I haven't decided. So anyways, it's kind of what we've been working on with that. We've done some work on our old truck. We've got, as you can see, we have a pile of debris here. We put a hood release cable in it. A couple plastic panels on the inside, put screws on everything. Got all tightened up. We actually have a an actual boot on the shifter now, so the floor is sealed up. So that's good. Just gotta clean now. When I did have this off, of course you have to take this little sill plate off to get that off, and I bet you I vacuumed 5 pounds of dirt out from under there. It was in there, so got that. Put a different grill in it. It's not broke. It goes in tight. We had to actually change the rear part of the headlight assembly is what the grill hooks into, and that was broke off. So that was all flopping. So that's taken care of. Down through. Put a different taillight in. Taillight that was on there is broke. Put our other tailgate on. That's a lot straighter than the one that was on there. Like I say, now we've just got to I gotta clean it up. I think I'm gonna drive it some this week. I actually just drove it over and put some gas in it. The kid that had it last, I got it from, he said that the back tank, the gauge, didn't work, and he primarily just used the front tank on here. So I went over and had about, I don't know, 3/4 of a tank in the front, so I filled the front, and then I was going to put, you know, 5 gallons or so in the back just to see what the gauge did. And geez, I only put about a half a gallon in it, and the gas actually started, you know, spewing down out of there like it was full. So it's like, huh, because the gauge read just above empty. So I messed around with it a little bit, and what it is for whatever reason, and this one kind of did it a little bit too, these fuel tanks do not like the vapor recovery system that's on the fill nozzles here in Nevada. It's basically, it's a California standard, I think. And there's a rubber boot that is on the end of the fuel nozzle, so when it goes on here, it covers the end of that, so any vapors and stuff, it recovers. And for whatever reason, it didn't like it. So I ended up, I just, you know, pulled the nozzle back a little bit and kind of angled it some, and I put, I don't know, 3 or 4 gallons in it, so I called it good and stopped, and the gauge came up to, you know, it's between a 1/4 and a half, you know, somewhere in there, which would probably be about right with the amount of fuel that I put in it. And I went for just a little ride around the neighborhood, and I've got it running on the back tank, so, you know, everything back there seems to work. The gauge seems right, so I'm kind of wondering if he thought there was something wrong with the gauge, because, like I say, when you go to put the fuel in there with that, I don't know what we've done here, but anyways, when you go to put the fuel in there with that vapor recovery, it acts like, I thought at first the tank was full, but it's not. And I kind of wonder if that's why he was thinking the gauge was right. He did that a couple times, and, you know, the gauge didn't show it, but it seemed like the tank was full, so he just didn't screw with it. But I don't know. Got to go down to the parts store. One thing that's going to bug me is the turn signal switch. The little clicker detent things are broke off in there. The turn signals work, but you have to hold the lever. They don't stay on by themselves, so we'll have to replace that. And there's about that much play in the steering box. So I think I'll get a remanufactured box for it and change that out. But other than that, things run real good. I think most of this is just going to be cosmetic. At some point we'll have to put a new set of tires on it. These are actual wheels that I put on it back in the day. Of course, the tires have been changed, but and they're 8-inch, 16 by 8s, 8 lug. I think it's 6.5-inch bolt centers, bolt circle. And I think what I'm going to do, because if you look with the hub, with these 285 tires, the tire leaves just a slight amount of the hub showing, but the rim is in. So I think I'm going to find a set of 10-inch rims. I think they'll look a lot better. They'll come out and, you know, past the hub, and then you know, we'll put some new tires on it, and then we'll start chipping away at some of the paint on this thing. We'll start getting it down. It's actually kind of funny because, you know, it's been sitting here for what, month and a half. Hasn't gone anywhere until today. And you're going down the road, and the clear coat is blowing off the hood in the wind. Actually, the clear coat and the paint's going with it too. So, but we'll start messing with that, making her look good. Haven't done anything else with our Bronco other than drive it. That's actually going really, really well now. So next up on that will be taking a look at some oil leaks. It leaks oil pretty good sometimes, depending on the angle that it sits, as you can see. So anyways, that's kind of what we've been up to. Not a lot. Say most of the time is spent on this, but it's kind of nice now. I think I'm going to take advantage of the temperatures, and like I say, I think I'm going to get a little cleaner thing out and see if I can do something with the floors and these things. The rubber mat actually, it looks like it's in relatively decent shape. Gotta find a. It's kind of funny because you can buy these seat cushions, the foam replacement for these, and you know, the factory seat covers. The seat cover set's not too bad. It's like, I think I've found them, you know, in the regular vinyl for, I don't know, 160 bucks, something like that. And then I found them, you know, in a cloth, a little bit more of an upgrade, you know, for, I don't know, 200, 225, something like that. But the foam pad, right here, is like $300 and some odd dollars. And that just blows my mind how this piece of foam would be that much. So probably what we're going to do is I'll just go to the wrecking yard, and they've got a half off sale coming up in a couple weeks, and I think maybe what I'll do is I'll go and I'll find a complete seat, maybe even a power seat, and then we'll just get the correct, you know, material and recover it to, you know, match everything else on the inside. Because I think on that half price sale, I think I can buy an entire seat for like 30 bucks. So I think that's what we'll do with that. And yeah, because that's the original seat. I actually remember the day that this seat broke like this. It was come out one morning to go to work, and I used to have to plug this in. That's the other thing that's gone off this too, is I see somebody's changed the heater hoses, and it looks like they've gotten rid of the block heater that was on this. So, but anyways, we used to have to plug this in the wintertime and get really very cold, and we had the cold snap where it was 40-45 degrees below zero at night, and the heater for this thing would come on at, I don't know, like 3 in the morning. I had it on a timer, it plugged in front of the garage. So when I came out at 7 to go to work, you know, the engine and transmission would be relatively warm, but of course the rest of the truck was, you know, still cold. And I remember I jumped up in there one day, and that seat shattered underneath me. The plastic, you know, the vinyl of here, it was so cold that it actually shattered, just like glass almost. There's all kinds of little pieces of it, and so that's when I put this cover on there, and I never really did any more with it after that. But clearly, it's, you know, continued to go to pieces over the last 20 years. So, anyways, that's kind of what that is. Took it. They had, for some reason, it's funny because I've been messing around with the tire pressures on the Bronco, and I've got them set now at 40 psi, and the Bronco is actually seems to drive really well with those tires at that pressure. This thing here rode really hard. When I remember when I drove it home, it was just banging on bumps and stuff, you know. Like I say, it was pretty hard. So I checked these today, and for whatever reason, they had like 80 pounds of air all the way around in these. So I dropped it down to, I think I dropped it to 40 in the front. I left 45 in the back, and that seems to drive a lot better too. I don't know why people have it in their mind to put so much air in it. Yeah, it was cold enough here. I actually had to get the heater out, run the heater here one night when I was out here messing around a little bit, and I don't use that very often here, but definitely needed it. Take the chill off. I think actually what it was New Year's Eve. I think I was out here because I didn't work New Year's Day. So anyways, that's what's going on. All the excitement from here. I think I'll take advantage of the temperatures a little bit and see if I can do a little cleaning on that thing, and call it a day. It's nice and mumble, so jump on there. Any of you guys that see this that have, you know, forgotten about the mumble, we're still there. So come on, I'd like to see you, and I guess that's about it. Nothing else going on I can think of. Happy New Year to everybody. 2015, going to be a good year. I hope. 2014 was a little rough at the end, so hopefully 15 will be a little bit better. We'll all pass that. So, anyways, until next time, everybody, take it easy.